This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, under pressure, National Party leader Judith Collins says her job is safe. With bad weather on the way, police issue winter driving tips. And 2 Queenstown hospitality workers have navigated the COVID downturn, creating a new bar. Tēnā koutou katoa, namihi o te ahiahi nei, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. The leader of the opposition, Judith Collins, says the government wants to create a regional water entity to be co-owned with Ngāi Tahu. However, her assertion is being slammed by the southern iwi as deceptive.
Speaking to party faithful at the National Party's Southern Regional Conference, the embattled party leader said her party's core values align with the principles of Te Tiriti o Waitangi. And she acknowledges Māori as tangata whenua.
Māori are the first people of New Zealand. Māori people, culture and reo are at the heart of our unique national identity. And by supporting the enhancement of Māori culture and language, we are enhancing New Zealand's culture and language. The National Party agrees that the treaty is our founding document. And to this end, I am encouraged by the discussions about allowing or including a treaty clause in our constitution. I believe the treaty has an important role to play in our democracy today.
The Department of Internal Affairs presented the government's proposal for Three Waters reform to 23 mayors and South Island iwi last week. Judith Collins says some of the mayors were so appalled they reached out to her.
A document given to the South Island mayors last week by the government's Department of Internal Affairs proposes that all drinking water infrastructure, wastewater and stormwater infrastructure across the South Island should be merged into a single organisation, and that organisation would be co-owned by iwi.
But her comments have been slammed by Ngāi Tahu as deceptive, while Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins says the party's rhetoric is aimed at creating fear and division. Mayor Hawkins describing her comments to party faithful in Queenstown as an increasingly desperate dog whistle strategy. In the latest political poll, the preferred Prime Minister figures have Judith Collins down by more than 12%, with just 5.6% of people surveyed selecting her as the nation's preferred Prime Minister. Answering media today, the current National Party leader says her job is safe. In Queenstown, the South Today.
A 74-year-old man has delivered some accidental justice after he was attacked near the University of Otago early Sunday, and one of the perpetrators put their foot in it. Dunedin Police Senior Sergeant Craig Dennison says the man had finished work at the University Library at 1:40 a.m. and was walking to his car when 2 drunk men approached him. The man managed to get inside the car and lock it when the attackers jumped on his bonnet and tried to break in. The man drove off, running over an offender's foot while escaping. A 27-year-old man was later identified by police and taken to Dunedin Hospital. Senior Sergeant Dennison says the incident is being investigated by police. Slipping and sliding around the icy Dunedin city streets is an all too familiar experience at this time of year. Police are urging South Island drivers to watch out for ice on the road and to stay vigilant with severe winter weather on its way.
Dunedin Police are making their annual plea for South Island drivers to take extra care as the seasons and road conditions start to change. Otago Coastal Road Policing Manager Senior Sergeant Leigh says there are more crashes at this time of year as driving conditions worsen, but drivers are slow to change their habits.
As we move into winter, I guess the chances of people crashing are higher, and look, the main thing with crashes is nobody gets up in the morning expecting or wanting to be involved with one. So I guess with just the change of seasons, there's a few things that people can do to, I guess, prevent themselves being in a situation that they just really don't want to be in.
Senior Sergeant Leigh says drivers should park in a garage if possible, cover their windscreen with newspaper or towels to prevent frost, and, most importantly, allow extra time in the mornings.
It's really the time to slow down. You've got to allow extra time for where you're going, because with it being slick on the roads, you know, your stopping distances are not necessarily going to be the same as what they were.
According to Met Service, the South Island is expected to bear the brunt of a cold front, which will bring severe winter conditions to parts of the south. Dunedin can expect snow showers to fall to 300 metres and high winds tonight and tomorrow, with inland Southland, Clutha, Fiordland and central Otago on a heavy snow watch. However, no matter the weather, Senior Sergeant Leigh says it's important motorists are always buckled up.
Been a number of recent cases where people would have survived if they had worn their seatbelts, and the ones that have survived are the ones that are wearing their seatbelts. So just really ask people that are travelling just to make sure that they're buckling up, because at the end of the day we have a number of staff out that we're making sure that people will be, but we just don't want to be catching people not putting themselves and their families at risk.
In Dunedin, the South Today.
Test match rugby is set to return to Dunedin in July when the All Blacks take on Fiji. New Zealand rugby is hoping for scenes like those pictured here from when the All Blacks fever was last in Dunedin in 2018. New Zealand rugby has released its program for the July International Series and confirmed the All Blacks will play Fiji on the 10th of July at Forsyth Bar Stadium. The All Blacks will play Tonga the weekend before at Auckland's Mount Smart Stadium and will play Fiji again in Hamilton the week after on the 17th of July. There is no scheduled game in Christchurch. The All Blacks last played a test in Dunedin in 2018. Two young men working in the hospitality sector in Queenstown are using the downturn from COVID-19 to their advantage. The duo are taking over one of the resort's award-nominated venues which shut after COVID to create a sports bar for locals and eventually tourists to enjoy.
Hayden Davison and Roman Kuna are hard at work converting this former Queenstown restaurant into a sports bar, complete with artificial turf and painted with American football lines. Boasting 15 TVs, with the main screen being over 2 metres across, they're creating a venue in a style that's currently not available in the resort.
Queenstown doesn't have a real bar committed to sports, and we are bringing this now, which is something that we've been missing for a little while, so we're hoping really to bring this to Queenstown and all the locals.
Called The Locker Room, the new bar is located in the former award-nominated Muskets and Moonshine on Brecon Street, which became available after the downturn of the local tourist economy. Kuna says COVID-19 has been a mixed blessing for people who want to start up their own business in Queenstown.
Without COVID, we would not be able to be here, first place, but it's still a bit scary because, yeah, Queenstown still rely on all the tourists that come along, and yeah, we need those back as well.
The duo are sinking about $200,000 on the revamp of the bar. Grub will be geared towards the comfort food end, and while burgers have been ruled out, they do plan on introducing gourmet hot dogs to the resort, as well as trying out other North American culinary favourites.
Me and my business partner Hayden been working in hospitality for, together, that's probably 30 years of experience, and we always wanted to own our business and our venue, and this came, available, and we took on the opportunity.
The pair are hoping to have the locker room open by mid-year, just in time for the UEFA European Football Championship. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we hear about the most unusual attempted theft, and we meet with a group of workers 50 years on from a significant project. Ka kite a konei.
What have you got? Okay. Chicks World, party time, excellent. Love it! Chicks World! Chicks World!
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, Lindsay here from Campbell's Menswear. We've opened another pop-up store in Otago. It's for a limited time. We're in D Street, 201, right beside the Lone Star. Come and check us out. We've got some fantastic deals for you. We've got moleskins, we've got every sort of shirt, warm ones, work ones, business, merino knitwear, jeans, trousers, you name it, the list goes on. It's such a big deal. Come and see us.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Alex Campbell Menswear, pop-up store, D Street, Invercargill.
You're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer. You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
TV, our favourite babysitter, but it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
Namai Nor, welcome back. A Dunedin man has arrived home to the bizarre and frightening sight of a stranger stepping into his life. Senior Sergeant Craig Dennison of Dunedin says a 33-year-old man arrived home at 1 p.m. on Saturday to find another man trying to access his car while wearing his clothes and leading his dog. When confronted, the stranger said he was there to purchase the vehicle, which was not for sale. The owner got his hoodie and dog back from the man, who then left. When the owner went inside, he found the doors unlocked and some furniture and drawers open. The owner contacted the police, who were still making inquiries, Senior Sergeant Dennison said. A lot can change in 50 years, however memories both good and bad remain fresh for some of the 1,800 people who helped put together the Manapori hydroelectric power station. Fewer than 20 people now work at the station, where a group of people enjoyed visiting the site to mark a significant anniversary.
Half a century may have passed since the Manapori hydro station was built, but the memories for those who worked on it remain vivid. About 40 people who worked on it, as well as their families, toured the station at the weekend as part of Meridian Energy's 50th anniversary celebrations. Acting Site Manager Blair Faulkner says he was excited to hear their stories.
We've got the 50th celebrations here today. Obviously the station's 51 years old because of COVID last year, but we've got a lot of ex-construction staff coming, so it's really good to get them over, hear their stories and their challenges and sacrifices they made during the build. We're just the caretakers here at the moment, so they did all the hard work, and appreciate the asset they've left us behind.
It had been 25 years since Selwyn Steedman had visited West Arm, and he says it was good to be back.
Well, this morning we've had a nice ride across the lake, and then going down into the powerhouse and been shown around like real VIPs. It's been lovely. Yeah.
It was dangerous work constructing the station, and Steedman says it would no longer be allowed.
In those days it was a big adventure and we were getting paid well. We didn't worry, it was just part of life. But today I don't think the unions and the health system and all the other things would allow us to do half the things that we did.
He and fellow workers took a moment at a plaque dedicated to the 16 workers who lost their lives during the build.
2 on that plaque were killed on the shift I was on, and one I actually physically took out on the locomotive out of the tunnel. He was still alive when we got him out of the tunnel, but he died soon after. So it's quite, brings back a few vivid memories when I see that plaque.
For Alan Forbes and Peter Berry, it was a time for reminiscing.
What's it like to be back here?
Oh, it's good to be back.
Well, the weather's usual.
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
Memories of the last time he stood at Deep Cove were fresh in his mind.
And probably my last memory of this exact spot, I was called into the Army for National Service. The local policeman on the Wanganella had a telegram to that effect as well. He put me on the bus and gave me a salute, and away I went. And here I am 50 years later back in the same place. Yeah.
With an umbrella over your head.
With an umbrella.
Nothing's changed.
No.
The day included a tour of both the station and over Wilmot Pass Road to Deep Cove. Another 2 tours will be held in coming weekends. From Manapōuri, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we catch up with Dunedin's club rugby scene, and wild weather's on the way. I'll let you know if it reaches your place. Hei koko ake nei.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, Lindsay here from Campbell's Menswear. We've opened another pop-up store in Otago. It's for a limited time. We're in D Street, 201, right beside the Lone Star. Come and check us out. We've got some fantastic deals for you. We've got moleskins, we've got every sort of shirt, warm ones, work ones, business, merino knitwear, jeans, trousers, you name it, the list goes on. It's such a big deal. Come and see us.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Alex Campbell Menswear, pop-up store, D Street, Invercargill.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
No mai nō, welcome back. The feature match of Dunedin's club rugby season was a match for all fans. Dunedin managed to win the match over Kaikorai despite losing 7 players to injury during the game.
In the feature match of the Dunedin club rugby round, this game had everything. Breathtaking tries, bruising defence, glaring errors, a serious injury which caused the game to change playing fields, and a club stalwart clocked up 100 games for Kaikorai.
Yeah, I probably didn't expect that I would ever get to this point when I first started for the Demons, and it wasn't on the horizon until about 2 years ago. I would have got it last year, but obviously COVID came in the way, and I didn't actually think I was going to come back this year.
Dunedin owned most of the first half, and winger Sione Via scored twice, giving the team a 19-7 lead at the break. In the post-match interviews, Rugby Chat host Paul Dwyer asked Patelo Peter Sinamoni how his team managed to lose the match.
How the hell did you lose that game?
I don't know. We've always known that Dunedin were a different team from the first one that we played, and obviously we thought we were ready for it, but on that day Dunedin were definitely the better team and we just couldn't keep up, so props to them.
Dunedin clocked up 7 players lost to injury, but still managed to win. Josh Morby scored early, but shortly afterwards, first 5/8 George Witana suffered a neck injury and concussion, forcing the players to change fields. The Herculean effort put in by Dunedin to come back from being down so far was not lost on Paul Dwyer.
You basically had no locks on the paddock at the end of the game. How the hell did you come back and win that game?
Yeah, George Witana, big loss. He's a good game driver. We knew that a few guys would have to step up and fill his boots. Yeah, again, a couple of locks being new to the team this week as well. The boys just fronted up. It was just about attitude this week.
In the latter part of the game, Kaikorai had itself to blame as its finishing was poor and the team squandered many opportunities. The final score, Dunedin 31, Kaikorai 28. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Under pressure, National Party leader Judith Collins says her job is safe. With bad weather on the way, police have issued winter driving tips. And 2 Queenstown hospitality workers have navigated the COVID downturn, creating a new bar. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Craig Page. Kia ora, Craig.
Good evening. News this afternoon that Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison's going to be visiting Queenstown, arriving May 30th, interestingly at times, and nicely with the Highlanders playing the Rebels in Queenstown that day, so I'm sure it's no coincidence. But it's going to be the first face-to-face meeting between Morrison and our PM, Jacinda Ardern, really since COVID-19. So great opportunity, I guess, for them to sit down, have a bit of a chat and see where both countries are at and where we're going, I guess. Jim Bolt as well, we catch up with him to see, of course he's been a big, quite vocal on the whole tourism aspect from Australia as well, so he'll be hoping to no doubt catch up and get his 5 cents worth there as well, so we've had a chat to him about that. So he's going to be in a few days, there's going to be lots of meetings up there, lots of dignitaries up there, so big few days for Queenstown, that's for sure. A nice story with Dunedin Paralympian Holly Robinson, she's been selected to feature an international Paralympian video game. One of 9 athletes from around the world asked to take part in it, and it's created by a Japanese game developer. So it's kind of the whole aim. They haven't said too much about what the game is, but it is aimed at, I guess, lifting the profile of Paralympian sport and also trying to encourage people into the sports as well.
Yeah.
So she's pretty excited about it, as you can imagine, and she's hoping it's going to do its bit to get more people into the sport, because she's a big advocate, of course, for Paralympian athletes and a great athlete herself. So travel pages, Stewart Island, we're off there. Which is really, it's come into its own since COVID-19. Everybody seems to want to get down there. So we profile lots of the amazing walks and seafood, lots of seafood as well. So I had the pleasure of being down there just before Christmas and had an unfortunate trip back on the ferry ride. So it was
that won't be in the paper.
The key is don't have breakfast before you go.
Right.
So, and just finally with sport, confirmation day, the All Blacks have got at least 1 test this year. The All Blacks playing Fiji. July 10. Fingers crossed that we're going to get something later in the year when the Springboks are in town as well. So that's the word, but we'll wait and see.
Great.
Thank you.
Time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, blue skies, racing clouds and flags flying in central Dunedin today. Looking at the situation, a very strong and very cold southwesterly airstream brings widespread showers to the region tomorrow and Wednesday. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, it's rain for Westport and Greymouth, both on 13 degrees. Moving to the northeast of the South Island, 13 for both towns here too. Though they escaped the rain, Nelson has partial cloud and it's even sunny in Blenheim. Heading down to Canterbury, 13 in Kaikoura too with partial cloud, but as we descend the mercury does too. Showers for Christchurch and Ashburton on 12 and then 11 degrees. And at the bottom of the island, it's very cold, a meagre high of 8 degrees across the southern region. The Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore also experiencing southwesterly gales and showers. Up to the southern lakes, it's fairly similar. In fact, Te Anau is the same, southwesterly gales, showers and 8 degrees. Wanaka and Queenstown only experiencing a slight change in wind direction with strong westerlies, showers and 8. And Alexandra, the same as them, just 1 degree warmer on 9. Then a little bit north, a little bit warmer. Strong westerlies and showers still. Twizel and Omarama reach 9 degrees. On the coast, Oamaru, the same conditions reaches 10, and the winds and showers are lightest in Timaru, reaching 12 degrees. Back down in Dunedin, best to stay in tonight. Gusty southwesterlies tonight with showers and an overnight low of 6. Changeable over the next 2 days, periods of cloud and showers spreading from the west, dragged by gusty, cold west to southwest winds. But that means some fine periods too. A high of 9 tomorrow and a low of 5, 13 and 5 on Wednesday. And in Invercargill, mostly cloudy and cold tonight and tomorrow with periods of showers, hail and sleet likely. Strong southwesterly winds could be near gale force at times in exposed places. An overnight low of 7 tonight, up to 8 tomorrow and down to 4. Similar weather on Wednesday, but winds easing slowly, a high of 12 and a low of 7 degrees. And that's the news this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka ki tāno.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.